Hey, everybody. I want you to know that all you are is a freak when see. You're a freak when see. What do I mean by that? Do you see what I'm doing right here? I am stacking pictures of frequency on top of each other. And if you take enough different frequencies and you stack them on top of each other, it creates the shape of your face. So people, when they see you, are seeing multiple frequencies stacked upon each other, creating the image of your face. Wow. So you are going to tell me that 4D and 3D drawings and 2D drawings, whatever kind of a drawing or a painting or whatever you're doing, when people start to just sketch the outline of the face and then they add in all of the other stuff, they're basically just adding in what are basically bandwidth frequencies on top of each other to create the image of a face using sound and energy frequency to create the image of your face. And everything that we see is created by frequencies stacked upon each other. What the F? This is crazy. So you are, if you take sand and you put it on a frequency plate and you vibrate it and you find that frequency, you take a picture of it, you stack 4 or 5 frequencies on top of each other, that's your face. Wow. Mind blowing. Is the United States about ready to have some serious misfortune? Now, I've been explaining to people on my podcast that many things in the United States history have been hidden from us. And I just found out, according to Sumerian writings, that in the past, they left charts of how high the water levels went after Noah's flood, and they went 600 feet higher than they are today, the coastlines. And there was much destruction worldwide. Let's take a look at this image here of California. This is high-res 3D. It shows very clearly that I believe that this mountain range was created as a result of a massive earthquake. Now, if you look at these torn up areas of these mountain peaks and this and that and the other thing, doesn't it look like just a bunch of stuff just collapsed there? You can see the huge sinkhole. Now, don't you suppose at one point this was probably what people thought was an ocean separating California and the mainland? You can clearly see the massive pit that is there, and you can clearly see what appears to be a dropping shelf. Look at all of that rock on the edge there of that sinkhole. Doesn't it look like it's all going downwards, like it just did a major drop, like it's just dropping like crazy? Sure does to me. Looks like it's just it just dropped and just crunched into a bunch of different pieces. So to me, this mountain range looks like it's a direct result of a massive earthquake. That's just hypothesis, but that mountain range there just looks like a bunch of stuff just collapsed and left just the jagged edges of what didn't snap off protruding. I mean, look at this. Are you going to tell me that that interior area wasn't underwater at some point? You can clearly tell that it was. And look at that drop off the coast. I mean, it just caved in at a massive, massive drop. Look at the drop that occurred off the coast of California. You can't tell me that that was not filled with water at some point. Please. So you can clearly see that these mountains were created from water runoff filling in that pit, and then that pit filling and then running down through there to the coastlines. I mean, you can just look at it and see that that water came down through there in massive torrents. You know, the United States is a cute place. You know, Turtle Island, we rock. We got a lot of cool little things going on. We got little places where we can run and hide. And I asked AI, well, what's going to happen if we go up by 600 meters, according to what the Sumerian writings are? They said the Appalachian Mountains would be islands. That most of that stuff's going underwater. There'd be no more coastline. There'd be no more Florida. A lot of that stuff would be going under. So you would be relocating, and that would be the facts of the matter. And, you know, this cute little map shows you, you know, you can see where water just ran down and just created this bubbly coastline, this joke of a coast over there that they call California. Now, it's a good time out there, don't get me wrong. They love having a good time out there in the remnants of a cataclysm, because that's exactly what California is the remnants of a previous cataclysm that struck the United States. So California has created much trauma and drama for the United States for a long time, you know. You guys been causing problems, bro. So we know that. You know, you can purchase these relief maps online from great companies that are out there. I can't mention their name, but they know who they are. I'm not trying to use your stuff without your consent and all. I just want to show people your great maps, and clearly something very traumatic and dramatic occurred here. Now, is this a fault line? Is this where it broke? I mean, they're gonna say, oh, this 1612 earthquake didn't happen where it dropped 5 miles in one snap. But look at this. Doesn't that look like a sheer massive place that just dropped just into the abyss? And according to people, and I'll put out their names, that witnessed these events and show maps of the Great Lakes before 1612 and say that a tsunami from an earthquake off the coast of California that caused this area to drop by 5 miles in one snap caused a tsunami that went all the way across the United States and caused the Great Lakes. I put out this video. They immediately deleted it and gave me violations and strikes. So this area, I believe, used to be the area that they thought was that ocean that made California islands. Maybe this section before this section did that was indeed underwater. Were you here in 1612? Because I can tell you one thing. San Francisco was around, Chicago was around, long, hundreds of years before the United States was around. But yet we discovered this place? Please. Entire civilizations have been hidden from humanity that existed in these areas for 30,000 years before we showed up. I don't mind being a frequency because you're a freak. See, the more that you realize that you are a being of light inside of a container, like you've been told, and that you possess powers that are so much stronger than you know, the second that you can tap in to the greatness of who you are, you're going to become the most awesome creature ever created by man. Just know that.